Welcome to Ray's Garage. I'm Ray Cornelia. That's right, folks. You saw it in the opening. That was the 40-pound Central Pneumatic Harbor Freight blast cabinet. Now calm down, calm down. I know what you're thinking. This isn't going to be your ordinary unboxing and assembly of the Harbor Freight blast cabinet. There's 1,000 videos out there of that. This one's going to be a more in-depth conversion of the Harbor Freight blast cabinet, and we're going to work out a lot of the bugs and complaints that people have with this cabinet. So we're going to turn this ordinary, inexpensive blast cabinet to a high-quality, high-reliable blast master. I have to warn you ahead of time, this is going to be another multi-part series because I can't do these upgrades in 1 or 2 episodes. So in this episode, we're basically just going to do the unboxing, and I'm going to show you what comes in that box. Give you some dimensions, and just to give you a feel, if you don't have one of these cabinets, what you're going to be up against if you choose to take this route. So stay tuned. I think you're going to really enjoy this series. You just saw I got everything unpacked and laid out. For the most part, everything was there, but I did not come out of this unscathed from damage. One of the glove rings was broken in a couple places. So I quickly called Harbor Freight customer service and found out there are no replacement parts for this 40-pound blast cabinet. There are only 2 parts available: the viewing glass and the gloves. That's it. No other parts are available. So if you get one of these and the parts are damaged, take it right back, or you're going to waste a lot of your time assembling it and find out in the end that something's wrong. So this I can live with. I can deal with that. It's going to be covered with a glove anyway, so I think we're good to go on that one. Okay, so before you start with your build, you're going to need a couple items. One most important item is you do not want to use silicone to seal the seams on this hopper or cabinet anywhere. Silicone will ruin your painting. If you're going to blast a part and you have silicone sealing your seams, that's going to get into your part and ruin your paint job. So what's recommended is this material here by Loctite. This used to be called PLS 30. It's been repackaged and renamed. It's the same exact product. It is a roof and flashing sealer, like you see here, and it's paintable. You have to wait 7 full days before you can paint this stuff. So if you do want to use it to seam your seals, you can paint it, but you got to wait a week. This is $7 at Lowe's. Okay, I got 2 tubes. I'm not sure if I'm going to need 2, but I hate running back out for something twice. You're also going to need some viewing glass. It's a consumable in a blast cabinet. So by the recommendations of others and other videos I have watched, they found a super deal at Lowe's. They buy a 36 by 24 inch piece of single pane, single strength glass and have them cut it. The viewing glass on these cabinets are 24 by 12. So you get 3 pieces of glass for 15 bucks. Perfect. Okay, so let me bring you in here. Oh, you know what? No, let me talk about something a little more important. The first thing we're going to assemble on this is the hopper. Now, Harbor Freight holes in the side of the hopper are 1/4 inch. The bolts they give you are M5, so it's loosey-goosey, man. If you're a fastener freak like I am, you may want to get out and get some more hardware. I'll give you all the sizes I end up using so you know what to use. I don't like loose fasteners and big holes. I just don't like it. Also, the hopper is a very critical piece of this build because this is where your media sits. And as you're blasting, your media is going to slide down the inside of that hopper. Well, you want the inside of that hopper as smooth as glass, seamless. That's why on some of the higher end blast cabinets, you see this injection molded plastic cabinet and hopper all into one because it's smooth. All your media just slides right down. So you got a couple options with the fasteners. One of the recommended options is to put them in backwards, grind the heads off the screws before you use them. That way, media won't gather on top of your fastener. There's other things we're going to do and modify to keep media from sitting on shelves and edges too. But the whole theory behind it is smooth as glass on the inside, seams sealed, no head sticking out for media to gather on. You want that media in the hopper, recycled, and not gathering up on flat surfaces. Okay, so the next step, let me bring you in for this. Okay, as many of you know, I'm an organization freak. Yeah, I was born with it, whatever. So, to keep my head straight, instead of cutting this card open with the possibility of losing all this hardware, I'm going to use a lot of it. A lot of it I won't use. I'll use a lot of my own fasteners. But I created these cups. And that way, I can just open up this little panel and dump them in the cups. You guys can do what you want. This keeps my head straight. You're also going to need another item too. You're going to need this 3/4 inch by 1/8 inch thick high density foam tape. So one side sticky. I got this on Amazon for 18 bucks. It's about 50 feet. It should be plenty. Before we assemble the hopper, we're going to remove all of this foam tape, the original Harbor Freight. I wanted to mention too, all of this metal, including the paint, is 40 thousandths thick. So this stuff is really thin. Dents real easy. It is what it is. I noticed too, I don't know what's going on with the surface here, but I don't know if you could see that. It's like bubbled pretty bad. It's like something got under the powder coat or paint. You know, and this is going to be the inside of the hopper. So let's hope this doesn't, you know, remember we're going for smooth as glass, right? So I already started, I already got it going. So let's continue. I'm using a heat gun. You could use a torch, just something to warm it up a little bit and release the glue. Now that all that tape's off, a little WD-40 and a shop towel should remove any remaining goobers. Yeah, it comes off pretty easy now. So let me get these cleaned up and we'll get to the next step. Okay, I got all the sticky off. One thing you want to do, like I said, this material is only 40 thousandths thick, and I see a couple dented screw holes, so you're going to want to go along and flatten them guys out. That's better. Why these are bent, I don't know, but they're not anymore. Okay. Now, like I mentioned before, the hopper is the most important thing. Do not follow Harbor Freight instructions because they have you putting the bolts from the outside in. It's recommended that they go from the inside out, and many other people that have done this have ground the heads off of these things. Now, these are M5 screws. I'm not liking how they fit up. That's a 1/4 inch hole right there. with an M5 fastener in it, and it's just loosey-goosey. I'm not liking it. Here's a low hex low head, 1/4 inch, fits in there sweet. Now I don't know if they have the holes oversized to compensate for a misalignment problem. I'm not sure. But if you end up using the Harbor Freight hardware, we'll do a quick fit up here. You want to go from the inside out and you want to grind the head flat. That way no media can collect on this screw head. So let's get a temporary fit up here. I'm doing this upside down. This panel goes in on the inside where that tape used to be. So they go together like that. And then if you use the Harbor Freight fasteners, you go from the inside out. And then put a washer and a nut. I'm just going to throw a nut on it for now just to show in the video if you want to move on with the assembly. Okay. So let me get this all mocked up real quick. This hardware, I'm going to be changing it out. So, but I just want to show you how to assemble it if you want to use the Harbor Freight hardware. I just saw that I was out of frame a little bit there, but I got it mocked up. I just have 8 fasteners holding this thing together, and it looks like the holes are actually lining up pretty darn good. I have this flat on the metal plate, and it looks like they line up. Like I said though, the 1/4 inch fastener just fits way better. I'm liking it. So I'm going to have to get 22 of these. If you use the Harbor Freight ones, you're going to have to grind the heads on 22 of them. So as you can see here, these side panels here fit on the inside where that foam tape was before. So as you can see here, I'll tip it over. Hopefully you're in frame. The inside panels go this way. Screws go from inside out. Then, after you have all your fasteners in, then we're going to use that Loctite and we're going to seal up these right here. All these seams, and we're going to make them smooth as glass. So, since I don't have the fasteners, this should conclude part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. It's going to get good, man.